In Java, you have variable types of integer, long, float, and double. An integer is 32 bits long, and a long is 64 bits long. An integer allows you to store values up to 2 billion, and a long allows you to store much larger numbers, but they're still limited. Um, Say if you wanted to store a number that was 100 digits long, there is no built-in data type for that. So the idea of this is to create a data type that can handle really big integers. Okay, so it's a very simple class that's only got a limited number of functions. You would really want to have exponentials and stuff like that if you were really implementing this. But this is the assignment. So first of all, we start off with this really long class, which is a really long int rather. It uses a linked list to store the variables, and you give it a size of how many digits it can be at maximum, and so it creates in a large number. It creates a number with leading zeros. The leading zeros aren't displayed when you display the nut value. So you can create it with a string as a parameter, and then it creates it with an initial value, and it gets the number of digits from there. There's also a copy constructor. So there's an add function which will add two numbers together. This is one area where C++ is better, as you can use overloaded operators. You have to use function names like add here. So first of all, it gets the two values and adds on leading zeros if they're different sizes. It calculates the digits, adding them together and working out whether there's a carry, and creates the new value and creates the sum, removes the leading zeros and returns it. So the remove zeros checks if the size, and if the first digit is a zero, it removes it, and so it allows you to just keep it to a trimmed value. There's also a subtract. The one thing is it doesn't allow you to get negative values. So all of these really long ints are signed, but they have to be, sorry, they're unsigned, they're greater than 0. So you can't do a subtraction where the value would be 0. Like I said, this is just an assignment class. It's not something you would actually want to use in production. So there's a compare function, and equals, which would compare two values. That's to get the individual digits out. And then there's a multiply function. Okay, so let's show you some code that will use it. So we'll create a really long integer value, a second really long integer. Let's run the code. So here we can see the results of running it. So R1 is equal to this and R2 is equal to that. You can see you can just print them. You can add the two values together and get the result there. Just check for a simple case of making sure that the number is extended by the appropriate digits. Some mathematical operations with smaller numbers. This is a value when the value would be a negative value, so it gives you an exception. There's a copy constructor, which is, yeah, here's the copy constructor. You can see the copy is the same. And then it has some values and it checks to see which ones are equal. So this one is equal to that, it's greater than this, less than that, and so on. It does all the comparison operations. Then it will sort an array of values, which is using the array sort, so it's implements comparable. So as you can see, the array has been sorted correctly. It's got the comparisons to see if whether equals is correct, and this one was not the same because there's a 0 here and there isn't there. And then there is a couple of other to get the powers, so you can basically shift it by multiply it by a factor of 10 to the 6, or you can divide by 10 to the 8 and so on. So it's just removing digits. There's so that's the assignment. Like I said, if you wish to look at the code, you can do, but like I said, it's fairly basic, and it's something that you might be asked to implement. Okay, thank you, and I look forward to working on your assignments